Okay, everybody, sorry for the wait. Big welcome back to our channel here in Elite Raceway. We are here for the season finale with our Noasis Division 1 group. And boy, are we looking forward to seeing our drivers here today. I think I did see, I believe Apex has left the session, but all right. Alrighty, we do have, I think, Mini Tony, who is having a little bit of trouble here trying to join into the session, but hopefully it is about 14 drivers. I think it will be uh, oh, looks like yeah, Apex Ferrari having trouble with his steering wheel. So we have seen that happen to quite a few number of drivers. So hopefully he is able to uh, get that prepared for the race. But yeah, anyways, we have a small group, but that is, as I mentioned, in tier two, quite typical considering this is the final race. Our champion has been announced already since last week, so that was MK7 Hitch in the Red Bull, who unfortunately isn't here today. But honestly, if you've looked at the past races, he's done a phenomenal job this whole season, and so honestly, well deserved. Had a little bit of a battle with Mac T and a couple battles with Mamu as well. So yeah, honestly, incredible work from MK7 Hitch, and he has claimed his second championship in a row. So and it looks like we have Mini Tony joining in. So finally, all right. So yeah, 14 drivers, and we do have a couple who are already finishing up their lap. So our first driver right now at the moment that is Old Manson, Old and Slow R Manson with a 134.0. And right behind him we have Ricky Stanicki who's going to put in a 134.2, so 2 tenths away there from R Manson. And the Yuppie, a 133.5. So yeah, as I mentioned, even though we do have our Drivers' Championship already secured, we still do have our Constructors, and that is between the Ferrari, who has a total of 423 points, and if my math is mathing, 12 points behind, yep, is the Red Bull, 411 points. So, unfortunately, both the Red Bull drivers aren't present here today. We do have Yashurin, who is reserving, and unfortunately, reserve points don't count. But we do have Seo, who is holding the fort for the Ferrari team. So, can he score points to secure that constructor's title? And we do have a couple of drivers who are still putting in their laps. PO7 putting in a 133.2. And yeah, we do. Yes, perfect. So Mini Tony, yes, able to join into the session. I will send another one to Mr. Bautista Ferrari, who is having a little bit of his steering issues there. Alrighty, but if you are tuning in for the first time, this is our Gnosis Division 1 group, a quite talented group of drivers. They are currently racing here for the final race of the season in Shanghai International Circuit here in China. And so China, which is quite a tricky track, has a total of 16 corners, 7 left-handers, 9 right-handers, does have 2 DRS zones, and where we'll most likely be seeing plenty of the overtakes happening. As we did in tier two, I do see we have Game Boy in the live chat giving us a little bit of a good morning, since this is, if you're unaware, he is in the Netherlands, so it is about 3 a.m. if I'm not mistaken for him. But let's see, we do have DRS Maestro, who did tell me I can actually keep an eye on him this time, and if you're not sure who he is, DRS Maestro is our driver in the Gnosis Division 2 group. Phenomenal driver, does have a few unlucky races. Does have a punchable face, as he has been the the victim of a couple of incidents. But no, DRS Maestro, an incredible driver. I would say a front runner in Division Two, and honestly, I think next season he will be in the front, battling it out. And in terms of Frozen asking what Tier 1 pole was, So looking at Tier 1, which races on Saturday, they do race with limited assist. That includes only ABS, corner line, and automatic gears. That was actually done, the fast lap was actually done by Mert Simp, who put in a 1:31.6. And if I'm not mistaken, that was uh, that was a dry qualifying session. And looks like Apex Ferrari's having a little bit of trouble joining in on his car. Hopefully he can get that arranged. But anyways, there's Maestro crossing the line, puts in a 1:34.2, and I did miss it, but PO7 putting in a provisional pole, 1:33.2 right there. And I'm pretty sure Frozen, who was asking regarding the Tier 1 qualifying session, looking to beat that qualifying time. Well, let's see, we do have a couple of drivers who have yet to put in a lap time. I do believe Alex, who appears to have invalidated, Seo as well. But we do have Atron, who is our Noah's Division 2 champion of this season, will be racing here in Division 1. And as I say that, actually, Atron, I do apologize. I do remember that you messaged me. I've been so busy. So yeah, I'll provide you more information about that. I do apologize, Atron. But keeping an eye on Atron, who has been incredible in the Noah's Division 2 group, has pretty much been on every podium except two, if I'm not mistaken. But has put in an incredible performance. He did have a bit of a battle with DRS Maestro last week, to which DRS Maestro won in Imola. But yeah, I think Atron will be a perfect fit for this group. But as we see him go here on the hairpin of the chicane, here in the final sector, and we'll see what time he's able to put in, and we'll actually compare that on Wednesday when he races in Division 2. And so he does cross the line, puts in a 1:32.9. And let's see, we do have the Yuppie, who appeared to be up on his time, although a little bit of a wiggle right there. And Frozen, who has retired in the pit lane, most likely looking to actually, is that him coming out of the pits? Oh, looks like he's off the session. Anyways, may have gotten disconnected there, but anyways, looking here at the Yuppie, who is looking to improve on his time. And Alex Cargo stealing that provisional pole from Atron on 1:32.6. We do have the Yuppie, who was up on his time, is going to improve by 0.6, puts himself up in the front row right next to Alex into P2 now. And I do want to see if Apex was able to... Ooh, looks like he's not able to actually select the car. So that's unfortunate. So he is going to have to start from the back, which is very gutting. But especially this is his debut race with us here today in Gnosis Division 1. So I think he was looking to put in a little bit of a performance there. But anyways, we do have a couple of drivers who are still looking to improve. And let's see, I do believe PO7 might actually be putting in a time at the moment. So looking at him right now in Sector 2, he is actually up by 2/10. And it looks like he does have a little bit of traffic up ahead, but looks like very close for comfort there. The Mercedes, although that actually might be the Mercedes of Frozen, which I'm not exactly understanding why his car is still there, especially because it retired him. So let me see if I could get him back into the session. So I do know EA was acting up a little bit for a couple of our drivers trying to join into the session. Hopefully Hopefully it doesn't impact them too much here. And oh my god, I have too many people on this list. Where are you, Frozen? No, there you are. Although he does have two accounts, which always throws me off. So I'll send it to the other one. There you go. Alrighty, so PO7 currently in PO4. And we do have what seems to be the Ferrari of Sayo, who is looking to put in a lap time here. Boy, Sick actually came quite tight, and I'm actually surprised he didn't invalidate, but puts in a 133.6 and up into 5th. And Escargo, who is using this extra day as practice as well, considering he is our Noah's Division 2 driver, putting in a 133.3. So really good time from the Aston Martin there of Escargot, who decided to change his name. Went from Escargo Sim to our favorite nickname for him, Escargot. And unlike some people, I actually do appreciate that he changed it and actually told me before. And so we still have one driver who is still yet to put in a lap time. That is Mamu, who I do want to give a little bit of a shout out for his performance this whole season. Has done an incredible job to battle it out in the front against uh, against people like MK7 Hitch, MacT, and put in his first ever pole position a couple weeks ago. If I'm not mistaken, 2 weeks ago, and has honestly done an incredible job. So yeah, keep an eye on Alex, who is currently holding provisional pole, currently on an out lap. And did I just see DRS Maestro call himself? Oh, give me one second. So DRS Maestro is saying he's a goat maestro. Sir, as long as you finish this race, I'll call you a goat. And oh, it looks like we do have the Red Bull of Yashurin, who has improved and actually gets past Sayo here and moves himself up to 6th. And I do see Game Boy asking if MK7 Hitch is already champion. So yeah, MK7 Hitch locked in that championship title last week in Imola. So at the moment, yeah, all the drivers over here just racing for those extra points, for those extra laps of battling. We do have, as I mentioned earlier, the battle in the constructors. Unfortunately, both our Red Bulls not present today. Yashurin reserving, but reserving does not secure points for the team. And we do have Seo, who is, yeah, defending the Ferrari team. Ferrari, as I mentioned, does have quite a comfortable lead ahead of them, ahead of the Red Bulls. So, yeah, it's looking like the Ferrari has already secured that championship. Even if Sayo doesn't score any points, in case, hopefully not jinxing him, he doesn't finish the race. But looking at Alex Cargo, who has put in a purple first sector, and Alex, who, oh, looks like he has backed out of that lap actually. So looks to be going around a banker lap. We do have our Division 2 champion here, Atron, who is going to cross the line, puts in a 132.5, and really great lap time for Atron right there. Looks like he has been putting extra practice now, considering this is going to be his division. And unfortunately, yeah, we do have a couple of drivers who are missing. Drivers who I think would put in, 131s like MacT, Monkuli, MK7 Hitch. Frozen would definitely put 131. I'm pretty sure he probably would put 130. But let's see, we do have PO7 who is looking to improve on his time. PO7 who has stated he is thinking about retiring after this season, has been with us for quite a couple, if I'm not mistaken, since the second season with us here in the Novices division. I'm pretty sure that's the case. But yeah, PO7, who is a veteran here in ERA, I think, yeah, looking to retire. And yeah, we hope he still stays with us in the server, gives us a little bit of some. Oof. I was trying to see how he's going to take that corner, and unfortunately invalidated, and taking a little bit too much of the inside right there. But let's see, we'll keep an eye on the front runners. But yeah, PO7, yeah, we do hope he stays in the server, and we do hope we see him on the live chat as well. But yeah, we do have Alex Cargo, who is looking to improve on his time. We do have about less than 3 minutes here in the qualifying session. So Alex, who is up by almost 2 tenths. And that could be plenty enough to get past Autron for the pole position here. And it looks like PO7 is going to be retiring there in the pit lane. But we do have Alex, who is going here around the final corner, and we'll see how much he's able to improve. Does really well to not to go wide right there, and he is going to put in a 133.5. Doesn't improve enough to get past Autron. And we do have the Yuppie, who is going to cross the line, as actually improves by 3 tenths, and unfortunately that doesn't gain him any positions there. And DRS Maestro, actually Mini Tony, putting himself there in the second row, 132.9. And so yeah, it looks like with a couple of our top drivers absent today, this is going to free up a little bit the podium to a couple of drivers who we haven't seen on the podium. So for example, uh, the Yuppie, who, if I'm not mistaken, got his first win last season. So yeah, talking about the starting grid, we have Atron starting on pole position with an incredible time right there for this group. In second, we have Alex Cargo. In third, we have the Yuppie, Mini Tony in fourth, PO7 fifth, DRS Maestro sixth, Armanson 7, Escargo 8, Sayo ninth, Yashurin 10th, Ricky Stanicki 11th, Mamu 12th, Apex Ferrari, and Frozen, who unfortunately weren't able to put in a lap time. And let me just get this reminder to not ready up. And ooh, it's actually looking quite a bit overcast. All right, so just a big reminder to our drivers not to ready up, as we do want to give the drivers enough time to secure their setups, suggest any strategies. According to the DRS manager, it looks like it's going to be dry. And yeah, it should give plenty of opportunity for overtakes. It is a small group, although we did see in Tier 2 plenty of battling. So yeah, just a big reminder to our drivers to be extra cautious in the first opening lap. Uh, of course, we want to see close racing, but we want to see it sensibly. So, and Game Boy calling Goat Maestro Weatherman. Yep, indeed. And it looks like PO7 also mentioning he's terribly bad at this track. Although terribly bad, I mean, you put yourself in P5, so that's not that bad. As I mentioned, our top drivers aren't here today, so yeah, this is going to free up the podium for a couple of our drivers who haven't been on the podium. Um, and yeah, we'll just see how this race goes. It is going to be a 50% race for those who are watching for the first time. So that is 28 laps in total around this track. Uh, but I do see Frozen looking to make quite a number of position changes in the opening lap. We do know his pace. We do know who his top competitors are in this group, or in this league. So yeah, so just give me a few seconds while I look into the Discord chats. And Escargot's mentioning that Frozen is gonna lap them all. I wouldn't be surprised. He's got incredible pace. He's on a different planet. This guy. But yeah, in terms of strategy calls, so we did see the one stop work perfectly well for our groups. Technically in tier two, considering tier one did have the rain. So yeah, hards to mediums, medium to hards. I think some medium runners they pit in lap 10 or 11. Uh, the hard runners, I'm trying to remember exactly. I can't remember at the moment, but we'll most likely see that, of course, on this race. But looking at the Discord chat. All right, so they do have the ready up since it is a small group. And for those who are watching for the first time, they don't have formation lap on, so they will be diving straight into the race. So, yeah, it's just as I mentioned, of course, to all of our drivers, make sure you drive sensibly. You want to be cautious on that first lap, especially with standard damage on, and ghosting disabled, so you don't want to cause a huge pileup. Stewards don't want to see that, please. But yep, we do have the timer going down. I am going to try doing my best to bring up all the information at the start. All right, let's get all this information up. And so we have 5 lights and riding on board with Mini Tony to see if Alex is able to get a good launch there on Atron. Looks like he does. Alex Cargo, a rocket ship there on the start. Does get the overtake done. So Alex Cargo now the leader of the race. I do see in the back of Scargo on the inside of DRS Maestro here. And looks like Escargo actually doing really well to gain 3 positions there at the start. And still a little bit of side-by-side battling there with DRS Maestro. So really nice opening lap right there. DRS Maestro really close to the back of Escargo, but looks like all the drivers keeping it nice and close. And Frozen already looking to make a couple positions, as I mentioned. So Frozen already gaining 3 positions there, getting past Sayo, Ricky Stanicki, and Apex Ferrari. And it looks like we have a couple of close racing as well here in the mid-pack. All the drivers doing really well to keep it sensible and just following right behind of each other. I do see Ricky Stanicki going a tad bit wide right there, but looks like still able to keep ahead. And that is Mamu, and looks like that might have been contact with Frozen, who does have that right end plate damage. So Frozen, who was looking to make some position changes. I'm not exactly sure what happened there with Mamu, but we do have a couple changes happening in the mid pack as well. Our Manson getting the move done on Escargo, although Escargo looking to defend that position. And no opportunity for our Manson to make a move for the switchback. A nice job catching that car right there. Jeez. But we do have Yashurin looking to get the overtake done, and he does get the move done there on the inside. Alex Cargo with the fastest lap of 139.4. Having crossed the first line and looking at the back Sayo, looking to get the overtake done. So looking for that gap there on PO7, but looks like not able to get the opportunity there, although it looks like Ricky Stanicki looking to make a move on the inside. And unfortunately, Frozen pitting due to that in-plate damage. And in terms of the strategy call, we do have the front two who have opted to start on the reverse strategies, going over for the hard compounds. And the 5 drivers right behind them starting on the mediums. We have a couple of drivers in the back starting on the hards, and unfortunately Frozen, who had to pit now onto a fresh set of mediums. And Apex Ferrari, who for his first race is actually doing quite well to try keeping up with the group. Keeping it cautious there on the start, but up in the front we do have Mini Tony and the Yuppie battling it out. But Mini Tony, a little bit of a lockup right there, and looks like the Yuppie might be looking to get a switchback move here, and he is able to get the move done, and so the Yuppie getting that P3 at the moment. So really a battling between these two drivers. I think Mini Tony was saying he wasn't ready for this race, but I think he does tend to underestimate himself. Because DRS Maestro pretty close to his teammate there for today, but does have a pretty good comfortable gap ahead of Escargot, who is over a second and a half behind. So yeah, top 5 drivers keeping it within less than a second of each other and keeping it within the DRS. And so it's gonna be a little bit of a train we'll be watching for the next couple, hopefully a couple laps here. Meanwhile, Escargot is in his own DRS train as well. So we have 2 DRS trains. We have from P1 to P5 and then from P6 all the way down to P12. Although P07 has dropped back a little bit there from our Manson, so might be opening up a little bit of a gap there. Although it looks like he is trying to catch up. Let's see, in terms of the gaps, we do have Mamu, who seems to be the closest behind of Escargot here. Looks like it's not going to be enough to get an overtake done. Although in the back, our Madsen actually gets the overtake done on the Assurance. So our Madsen moving himself up to 8th. And looks like that is a little bit of contact there between the Red Bull and the V-Carb. And looks like PO7 looking for that gap there in between. And unfortunately, that gap closing. And a little bit of a lockup right there from the Williams. Looks like we do have a little bit of a switch around between the 2 teammates for today. That is Mamu and Escargot. And up in the back, you're sure going a tad bit wide, but looks like we do have Sayo looking to get the overtake done, and that is contact between Ricky Stanicki and PO7. And that may have cost PO7 a little bit of time there, but still within less than a second behind of Sayo. So yeah, as I mentioned, even if it is a small grid, 14 drivers here today, I think I've seen double the overtakes there, or action happening. And it does look like DRS Maestro has fallen behind from Mini Tony. And I see Game Boy asking which tire Frozen started on. I don't know if it was the hard or the mediums, but we'll find out towards later on the race director. But we do have Mamu looking to get the overtake done here on DRS Maestro. Does have the DRS and does have the battery. And able to get the overtake done comfortably. And up ahead, the Yuppie actually getting the move done on Atron as well. So the Yuppie gaining a position there into P2. And looking up in the back, we also have a very close gap. And looks like it might have been a little bit of a mistake from the Yuppie considering how fast that gap closed. But Atron actually getting the overtake done here on the Yuppie. So Atron trying to retake that position that he lost. And is the Yuppie going to try looking for a move here on the inside? Looks like no, a little bit of a lockup there from Atron, sending over a little bit of smoke to the Mercedes there. And so Mamu, a man on a mission for today, trying to close that gap, falling behind of Mini Tony. And it looks like that is a spin, and that appears to be the Alpine of DRS Maestro, who has to make sure he doesn't reverse back onto the track, giving me a little bit of a heart attack right there. Unfortunately, I do think that is going to cost him some damage, and looks like, yeah, he is missing his left end plate. So very unfortunate there for DRS Maestro, who was keeping the pace, honestly, with the drivers up there in the front. But up ahead, we do have the Yuppie getting the overtake done on Atron. And going a tad bit wide, and so Atron is going to go right through and retake that position once again. And so now the Yuppie under pressure by Mini Tony, who is also under pressure from Mamu. So Mamu appears to make the overtake done first. And up ahead, the Yuppie and Atron still battling it out as well. You know, it appears to be a little bit of bumping contact, but no harm, no foul. Both of them giving each other enough room right there. And Atron trying to keep that car straight, with Mamu having both of them in his sight. And Atron almost losing the car right there, and looks like Mamu is going to use that to his advantage and get the overtake done. So Mamu, who, looking at the position changes, has gained 9 positions here. So most likely looking for that driver of the day vote. But looking at the back, we still have a few battles happening between Yashurin all the way down to Ricky Stanicki. Oh, it looks like that is the Ferrari of Sayo going a tad bit wide. Not losing enough time right there, but up ahead, looks like Mamu has gotten the overtake done on the Yuppie. So Mamu now up 10 positions, now has about 5. Oh, and looks like that is Tony who having a little bit of a lockup and into the Yuppie. I don't think the Yuppie picked up any damage. No, it doesn't look like he's picked up any damage, but yeah, curious to know why. Or hopefully not side pod damage from the Yuppie there. Yeah, curious to know why the Yuppie slowed down right there, but he is now trying to go around the outside here on Mini Tony. So Mini Tony, who, if I'm not mistaken, does have that missing left end plane. He does. And it looks like we do have Frozen retiring there from the session. Unfortunately, it looks like there's not going to be any safety car coming out for him to catch up. But yeah, very unfortunate for Frozen, who definitely has the pace to go from last to first, I think. But of course, incidents happen, and looks like Mini Tony struggling quite a bit there to rotate that car. And Mini Tony leaving the session. So if I'm not mistaken, knowing Mini Tony, probably having a little bit of issues with either his steering wheel or his connectivity. As I know he was having a couple issues with it before. But looking at the front runners, I don't know where I missed it, but Escargo has managed to put himself in third at the moment. We do have Atron looking to make a move on the inside, and can he get the move to stick? So both of the drivers locking up right there, and it looks like Atron is going to get the upper advantage here and get the move done on Escargo. But Atron going a tad bit wide right there on the last corner, and so Escargo with the DRS is going to get the overtake done. And it looks like the Yuppie looking to get the overtake done on Atron as well. So, yeah, Atron unfortunately losing 2 positions right there. But trying to battle it out. And a little bit of contact right there, but looks like no harm, no foul. Atron trying to retake that position from Escargo. So really nice battling between these two. And let me see if I can actually get Mini Tony back into the session. And actually, yeah, Mini Tony saying his screen went black, and yeah, that's why I say it's quite strange to see that happen especially from him, who's usually cautious. Hopefully he's able to get that fixed and he's able to rejoin back into the session. Oh, it looks like we do have a yellow flag. That appears to be Apex Ferrari, who is missing his right end plate there. And we do have a couple of changes happening in the front, as well as Atron continues to battle it out with the Yuppie and Escargo as well. And And I do believe that is yellow flags due to Apex Ferrari letting through DRS Maestro. But looking up in the ahead, yeah, really nice battling between these three, I will say that. And Alex Cargo, who has done an incredible job so far to maintain that gap, still keeps it over 3 seconds ahead of Mamu. And yeah, as I mentioned, the reverse strategy, starting on hard compounds, definitely an advantage here. And that is Atron, who loses the car and unfortunately he does catch it, but Escargot and the Yuppie are going to go right through and take that position. So Atron, who strangely enough is struggling a little bit there with those hard compounds, especially with Escargot and the Yuppie up ahead with the mediums. And looks like up in the back, we also have a few battles happening as well, as Sayo is going to be closing in on Sayo. Sorry, Yashurin on Sayo. Oh, looks like it's not going to be close enough to get the overtake done, as he does have the DRS on Armanson, and what a dodge. Jesus Christ. My goodness, Armanson, I'm hoping he has the rear view mirror to see that. Jeez. Yeah, really good job from Sayo to avoid Armanson and Armanson to avoid Sayo. Jeez. But it looks like we do have our first driver to enter the pit lane, and that is Atron switching over to a fresh set of mediums. And I do wonder if that may have been too soon, considering it 9 lap old hard compound switching over to the mediums. Mediums are going to be horrendous if he decides to take them all the way to the end of the race. And I do think Mini Tony is still under AI. Hopefully he is able to join in. It looks like Escargot has done really well to extend that gap ahead of the Yuppie now, 1.2 seconds ahead. And it looks like we do have our 3 drivers within the DRS. That's Armanson right behind of Sayo now. And yeah, Mini Tony saying his screen died. I did see the Discord chat. Yeah, that's crazy. It's not the first time I would hear that. Honestly, I have heard crazy things about brake pedals stopping to work, steering wheel stopping. Yeah, well, I would not be surprised. But hopefully you are able to join in, or hopefully it does fix itself. And no, Minito, you didn't murder anybody. You did make contact with the Yuppie, although no damage was done. And as you can see, the Yuppie's still in the top 4 battling it out. So it was a bit of a hefty hit, but yeah, not exactly sure. Yeah, I don't think anything ill came out of it. But PL7, who is still keeping within the pace, does have that missing left end plate and trying to maintain that gap ahead of Yashurin. But looks like up in the front we have the Yuppie, who remains less than a second behind of Escargot. And is going to have the DRS here on the next upcoming straight. So can the Yuppie look to make an overtake done now, or wait a couple of more laps before he tries to go for the attack? I don't think he's going to be close enough, especially with that battery as well. And yep, Escargot draining his battery as well to try remaining ahead of the Yuppie, and he is. And so in Tier 2, we did see a couple of drivers already having pit And as I say that, the yuppie, this is like deja vu. I always see everybody going wide heading into the pit lane. It's, jeez. But yeah, I was wondering when a few of our medium runners were going to start pitting. Looks like the yuppie, as I said before, laps 10, 11, take it further, 12. Uh, but looks like the yuppie choosing to pit now. I'm opting for a fresh set of hard compounds and Yashurin as well. And so it looks like we've had a couple of gaps open up. We do have our Manson still remaining right behind of Seo. Unfortunately, PO7 struggling a little bit there with the missing end play and losing out a bit of time here behind of our Manson. And I have been keeping an eye on the delta between Mamu and Alex Cargo. So Alex Cargo, as I mentioned, starting on the hard compounds, much better tire advantage there uh, compared to Mamu, who's unfortunately with 12 lap old mediums. And so Alex Cargo looking quite strong for this race to possibly get a win. We do have a couple of drivers already switching over to the fresh set of tires as well. Scargo having entered the pit. And we PL7 a little bit wiggly there, but actually I take it back. He's actually still keeping the pace, less than a second behind of our Manson. And in the back, actually looks like Escargo is going to come out ahead of Altron. So Altron with the 3 lap old medium runs. And so, considering no action is happening now, if you are tuning in for the first time, we do have our Gnosis Division 2 group racing on Wednesday night as well at the same time, 9 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, we'll be having our new season starting in about 3 weeks, almost less than 3 weeks. And yeah, if you are interested in racing, feel free to fill out an application there on our Discord. It is on the description channel. The description of our channel. And yeah, definitely we're looking for drivers for both our Gnosis Division 1 group, this one at the moment that you're watching, and our Gnosis Division 2 group. And if you do race with assists, we do have our tiers 1 and 2 that race with limited assist, that is automatic gears, corner line, and ABS. And we, as I am giving the list, our Manson losing control of the car. And unfortunately losing the position to PL7. So PL7 now putting himself into third, holding himself quite well despite that left end plate that he's missing. And in the back, we do still have Atron, who is remaining right behind of Escargot. We are about halfway through the race. I don't even know if Mini Tony was able to join in. And oh, looks like we do have our first round of penalties. That is Yashurin with a 3-second penalty. And penalties which were quite an issue in these, if I'm not mistaken, in Tier 1. I'll take a quick look as... 'cause I don't think we'll be having any overtakes done yet. But yeah, in Tier 1, we had 4 drivers with a 3-second penalty, 1 driver with 13 seconds. Tier 2, we did see a couple of drivers with the 3 seconds. I believe we had 1 driver with the 10-second as well. And so, yeah, big respects to these drivers who race with no assists in a tricky track, tricky and technical track. If you're tuning in for the first time, these drivers, they race with absolutely no assists. That includes no racing line. And yeah, this driver's very talented. I do see DRS Maestro has retired. I believe that was in the pit lane, as I can't see due to the comments. And yeah, looks like DRS Maestro has opted to retire in the pit lane. So DRS, you're definitely not the GOAT, as I mentioned. But let's see, we do have Mamu, who had opted to pit, does have 1 lap old hard compounds, and DRS Maestro actually saying he crashed. So did you crash entering the pit lane? Jeez. We do have Mamu looking to get the overtake done on Armanton. Armanton, who is trying to use that battery to defend that position. Unfortunately, not enough to keep it. And so Mamu moving himself up into 4th. He does have the 2 drivers ahead of him who have still yet to pit, who, if I'm not mistaken, I do believe PO7 is going to pit. And I do wonder if he's actually going to change that wing as well. And DRS Maestro saying his arms hurt, so is that why you retired? And so, yeah, looks like PO7 is going to have that front wing changed along with the tire. So PO7 now switching over to a fresh set of mediums, fresh set of wings as well. And as I switch over to Autron, a little bit of contact right there between him and the Aston Martin of Escargot. So we have seen quite a bit of hard racing, nothing major, but of course we do like to remind our drivers to keep it sensible, be a little bit cautious in terms of contact. Well, let's see, we do have Mamu, who has now closed in on the back of Sayo, who does have those 15-lap-old hard compounds. So he's going to get the overtake done nice and easily here. He is going to have the battery and the DRS to do so. And so Mamu putting himself back into 2nd, and Alex Carragher, who is extending those hard compounds, hasn't yet pit. Having a little bit of a race of his own, I will say. And looks like Sayo has now chosen to pit, so curious to know where he's going to come out. And actually looks like Autron is going to be pitting now. So that's going to free up Escargot from a little bit of pressure there. But looking at Sayo, who is coming out the pits, is going to be coming out right ahead of Armanton, right behind of Yashurin, who does have that 3-second penalty. And so PO7, who looks like we do have a yellow flag. That appears to be Apex Ferrari struggling a little bit there. He's going to be returning back onto the track. Does have, if I'm not mistaken, the Yuppie right behind him looking to lap him. And up ahead we do have Alex Carragher, who is now pitting, and Mamu, who is just about to cross him there as he's pitting. So we do have 11 laps remaining, including this one. And looking at the gap between Mamu and Alex Cargo, looks like it is going to be about around 5 seconds that Alex Cargo is going to have to try eating up here to get closer to Mamu. But looking at the back, we have Seo looking to get the attack done on Yashurin, and he is going to get the move done. And so looking back, considering I do believe all our drivers have pit, looking back at our position changes. So we do have Mamu up 11 positions there. Escargo, Sayo, Yashurin up 4 positions. And Ricky Stiniki up 2 positions. And we've had a couple of drivers who have lost quite a number of positions. Altron down 9 after having started on pole position there. Mini Tony down 7 after, I believe, an incident in terms of his screen turning off. But yeah, very unfortunate for these two drivers. But hopefully, yeah, hopefully next season they have much better luck in this group. Well, let's see. We do have our Manson, who is closing in on Yashurin and does get the overtake done. PO7 with a good view between of these two drivers, giving me a little bit of a heart attack there. Jeez. But it looks like he is closing in on the back of Yashurin, looking to get the overtake done. He is struggled a little bit there after that minor contact, but is going to have the DRS and is going to have the battery to use. And is he going to make a move on the inside? And Yashurin there trying. Looks like that might have been a little bit of contact between the two drivers there. And so unfortunately, Yashurin, who has been pushed out of the gap here, now 2 seconds behind of PO7. And looking at the gap up ahead, Alex Cargo actually closing in on Mamu. So what was almost 5 seconds has now reduced to now 2 seconds behind of the Aston Martin. Oof, and it looks like, geez, looks like it's not the most luckiest days for Mini Tony, who's still having trouble. Apparently his TV dying, so, jeez. Yeah, very unfortunate considering this is the last race of the season. Mini Tony, who's done an incredible job this whole season, I think has I'd say he's held the fort for the Alpine. Moikulu, who has missed quite a few races, but has actually scored more points. But I think that was a really good duo. Unfortunate, yeah, very unfortunate in terms of this TV shutting off. But anyways, looks like we still have a couple of battles still going on. Autron on the back of Ricky Stanicki. Alex Cargo has also closed in right behind Mamu. And I do think Alex might be the closest one over here, looking to make an overtake. And can he make the overtake? Oof, it looks like both of the drivers being super cautious, trying to avoid that. And Alex letting Mamu through. Yeah, it was a bit, I think these two, actually, that's right. Alex Cargo and Mamu having a little bit of history in the last race in Imola. Um, the Alex Cargo giving Mamu's rear a little bit of a kiss into the gravel, but both the drivers demonstrating plenty of sportsmanship, taking it quite well, and just shaking hands and saying mistakes happen. Hopefully those mistakes aren't repeated. So, which I think Alex Cargo was trying to avoid. But yeah, so our top three battles at the moment, we have Alex right behind of Mamu, we have Armanson behind PO7, and we have Ricky Stanicki behind Autron. So yeah, as I mentioned, even if it was a small group, there has been plenty of overtaking and plenty of battles. I do see we have Apex Ferrari, who does have a couple of the drivers behind him ready to lap him. And he's struggling a little bit there. I wasn't sure if that was just him trying to get out the way. And yeah, it looks like him trying to get off the track there, off the racing line as well to let them pass. But anyways, looking up in the front, that is Alex Cargo missing the braking once again on the same corner. Jeez, Alex, please. Ay, ay. Been a little bit of a dodgeball between these two, but it looks like Alex Cargo looking to get the attack done here in turn one. It looks like he is going to remain ahead of the Aston Martin. And the Yuppie, who's been pretty much on his own race, despite having quite the number of battles between Escargot and Autron. So the Yuppie demonstrating quite a bit of consistency here. And I do see Game Boy mentioning that Alex is going to give him a few age lines. Stressing the stewards out a little bit there. Jeez. And I do think that is still the AI of Mini Tony who is enjoying the race. Anyways, up ahead, Alex Cargo remaining ahead of Mamu. Mamu, a little bit of a lockup right there, but nothing scary enough to to age us even further, Game Boy, right? Jeez. And so looking at the mid-pack as well, Sayo with Escargo right on his sight. And unfortunately not close enough to make a move, although it looks like our Manson and PO7 having a little bit of a battle here as well. And Mini Tony asking if I can kick his car out. So unfortunately, no, I don't. That doesn't give my... I don't have the power to do so. But from what I see, your car has not been causing any issues to any of the drivers. But yeah, looking back at the battle here, Alex Cargo now extending the gap ahead of Mamu, has now pushed over to a second and a half. And we do have Escargo and Sayo going side by side right here. And looks like Sayo is going to have the upper advantage. I do see Ricky Stanicki has left the session. I will try to send you an invite to join back. I always feel like this always happens in the last couple of races, last couple of laps with him. And I did see actually Mini Tony joining back into the session, so. And nope, leaving it once again. So yeah, looks like he's having quite mega troubles with the game. But anyways, looks like Sayo is maintaining his position ahead of Escargo, who trying to catch up here. And I do believe another gap has opened up. PO7, who was quite close behind of our Manson, unfortunately has dropped back a little bit. It looks like Ricky Stanicky able to join back into the session, so glad to see that. It's always unfortunate when our drivers disconnect from the race. But Alex Cargo extending that gap even further, almost 2 seconds right there, but we'll see how these final laps play out. We do have 5 laps remaining, including this one. And Ricky Stanicky actually pitting. I do hope that was his decision or if that was the AI's decision. Jeez. Oh, and it looks like he does actually have a missing right end plate, so that might have actually just been Ricky Stanicky. It looks like we still have a battle here between Seo and Escargot. And Seo actually going a tad bit deep in there in the corner, and looks like unfortunately Escargot not able to use that to his advantage to get the overtake there. But yeah, the Aston Martin doing really well to keep it quite close behind of Seo, using the DRS to try closing the gap. Up behind we have PO7, who might be looking to make a move here on the inside of our Manson and is going to get the overtake done. Whew, and for a second I thought, thought he was going to go sideways. Jeez. And I just wanted to take a quick look on who had the fastest lap, and that was actually done by Frozen, who unfortunately retired from the session. And now it does look like PO7 has closed in on the back of Escargot, so it looks like we have the return of the DRS train here from Seo all the way down to our Manson. I do see yellow flags. That might be Apex Ferrari, who is currently on the gravel trying to return back onto the track. And so, looking at the penalties, we only have really Yashurn with the 3-second penalty, who might have it impact his race result, as we do have Altron, who is tailing right behind him, just outside of that 3 seconds. It looks like Altron trying to pick up the pace a little bit too, having closed it a little bit more. But looking back at these drivers as well, Sayo still maintaining his gap ahead of Escargot, who is going to have another opportunity here on the next upcoming DRS straight. And if I'm not mistaken, this would be Alex's first win of the season. Though he did miss a couple of races, considering he did fall asleep for the race. But yeah, he's had two second place finishes in that was actually in the first three the three first races of the season. And unfortunately, yeah, not able to go back on podium after that, but yeah, Alex looking to end the season with a bang, try getting that win. But we are currently on the penultimate lap, and that is Escargo struggling a tad bit there on the exit. And that might give PO7 an opportunity to close in even further, but looks like it's not. And so, yeah, looks like we do have Alex Cargo already starting the final lap. Comfortable gap ahead of Mamu, about 2.2 seconds there. And the Yuppie, who is looking to secure a podium finish as well in third. So, as I mentioned, running his own race is 26 seconds behind of Mamu, 7 seconds ahead of Sayo. So, yeah, just has to make sure he keeps it consistent here on these final laps. He had an incredible battle the first couple of laps with Atron and Escargot. Unfortunate for us for Atron, who yeah, he did pit early and then opted to go for the two stop. But yeah, most likely using this, as I mentioned before, as practice for Gnosis Division 2 that races on Wednesday. And oh no, looks like a commentator's curse. Alex Cargo losing the car. And that is going to allow Mamu to remain ahead. And so can Mamu get the win? Has to make sure he keeps it consistent here for the final corners. And very unfortunate for Alex Cargo. 10 lap old medium tires. I mean, yeah, they probably weren't feeling that great towards the end. And yeah, Mamu keeping it consistent. And if I'm not mistaken, this would actually be Mamu's first ever Yare win. And so Mamu is going to cross the line. And mega congratulations to him. Alex in second. We do have the Yuppie about to cross the line as well. A little bit further back there, 25 seconds, but comfortable gap ahead of Sayo. And oh boy, I do wonder what exactly happened to Alex there. And so we have the Yuppie crossing in third, looking at the gaps behind. Unfortunately, the DRS are not able to give them enough to get the overtakes done, but PO7 has Escargo on his side, but they are going to cross the line and the positions are going to remain as is. Atron, who is within the 3 seconds of Yashuran's penalty, and actually just about out. So Atron unable to get the position there from Yashuran despite the 3-second penalty. 0.019, jeez. And looks like we are just waiting for Ricky Stanicki and Apex Ferrari as well. So what's commentator's curse in regards to Alex? Jeez. And even Yashuran is surprised, saying no way that Atron unable to finish within those 3 seconds of his penalties. Jeez. Honestly, for a very small grid, incredible racing. I will say that. Jeez. Mamu, his first ever win in ERA. Mega congratulations. Starting from the back. A well-deserved driver of the day from P12 all the way to P1. Sharing the podium, we have Alex Cargo in second. Very unfortunate, though he did put in an incredible drive. And the Yuppie in third. That is, I believe, his second podium for the season, or could possibly be his. I'll take a look at that afterwards, but it is a unique sight to see the Yuppie there on the podium. But big congratulations to those three podium runners. From P4, we have Sale, P5, Escargot, PO7 in 6, Armats in 7th, Yashur in 8th, Altron ninth, despite starting on pole position, honestly put in a really good race. Ricky Stanicki in 10th, that's our top 10. Mini Tony AI, which finished in 11th, Apex Ferrari in 12th, and our two DNFs, DRS Maestro, aka DNF Maestro, and Frozen, who had also gotten the fastest lap, unfortunately, due to being outside the top 10, not able to secure those points. Um, yeah, honestly, incredible season. Big congratulations to MK7 Hitch, who wasn't here today, did win the season. Is our Division One champion, well deserved. Game Boy saying great comms, I do appreciate it. Unfortunately, Turtle Commander wasn't here with me today, so yeah, me having to do tier two and this group, my brain is already fried. Uh, jeez. Um, yeah, no, big congratulations to all these drivers. We appreciate everyone who joined in for this season. We look forward to the new season. Um, we'll be trying to get more drivers in, so just be patient with us. We do have about 3 weeks break, and yeah, we're looking forward to the new season. I can already see a couple of drivers uh, who have a chance to fight for the championship. Have demonstrated incredible improvement. Um, we do have our Notices Division 2 group on Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern as well. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Give us a like, a subscribe. That way you could get the notification where we're live. And yeah, and also give us a follow on our Instagram. I do try to post up the standings. I've been a little bit too busy today, so unfortunately wasn't able to put for Tier 2 and Division 1. But I will put that in a couple minutes. So just, yeah, make sure you give us a little bit of a follow, and um, we'll update as much as we can. But to all our viewers, big thanks to you guys, and I hope you enjoyed the racing. Have a good night, good evening, good morning, wherever you guys are watching from. Division One will be back on March 2nd, and yeah, can't wait to see it. So we'll catch you guys for the next race on Wednesday, for our final race of the season.